Yo, 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 what's going on, people? I accidentally went live on 2 channels tonight. So if you're on the main Geekly Goods or on Geekly Goods Live, what's going on? Come join us for this conversation because, guys, we got to talk about Marvel. We got to talk about Marvel, y'all. Now, listen, I don't necessarily think it's time to hit the panic button and reset everything. I don't think it's time for a DCU type of shuffling to happen. But I think that report that Variety reported raised some concerns about the MCU that we've had for a little while now, but it just really compiled all of them somewhere and gave us a little bit of new information to really let us see there's some stuff going on Marvel that needs to change, I believe. I mean, I think we're all on the same page with that. There's just some positive changes that we need to make, but the MCU is not completely in total shambles yet. Now, if they keep on the path they are, we're headed for some trouble. But y'all, we got to talk about this because there's a lot to talk about with that article. We got Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes around the corner too. That's getting some good reception, but we got some trailers to talk about, y'all. The Boy and the Heron, that English dub came out. Guys, there's so much to talk about, but I'm not going to wait too much longer. Get to blabbing, man. Let me get my co-host with the most in. Loretto, what's going on, man? How are you?
Good evening. Glad to be here. My Niners on vacation, so I had a pretty stress-free day. We got a lot to talk about, especially with our caped brethrens. That's not the right word, but
a lot going on. So G. Colby, it wasn't necessarily fake. There's some stuff in the article that is questionable, like some of the stuff with the Blade plot and things like that. It's definitely not fake, but it's more of like a compilation of a lot of things that have already been going on. So we know about the VFX stuff. We know about the Marvel's box office prediction. But we're going to talk about it, guys. We're going to get into that a little bit later. What's going on, Elliot? Good to see you in the chat, man. We got Elliot, Josan, Andrew. Man, it's been a while since I seen you, man. What's up? But yeah, Action Pack, what's going on, man? Good to see you. I've seen your profile picture on the channel a couple times lately. It's good to see you. But yes, let's definitely chat, guys, because there's a lot to talk about. But we're going to get into our first segment, guys. In our first segment, we rate trailers from 1 to 10 on how much we're anticipating the film. In the segment, Rate Your Hype, baby, where we rate these trailers 1 to 10 based on our excitement. And the first one we got to talk about, the Boy and the Heron trailer this week dropped, and it's the English dubbing of the trailer, and we've got some great voices on this dub. By the way, Christian Bale is back. We got Robert Pattinson on the English dub. We got Florence Pugh, I believe, is on the English dub, if I'm not mistaken. We got a really good English dubbing for this. We got a really good English dubbing for this, for the Boy and the Heron. But I will admit, I decided to avoid the trailer, but I did look up the English cast because I was like, okay. We got Defoe on there. Mark Hamill's a part of the cast. Like, we've got such a cool part of the cast. I was told, and I thought the Heron was going to be Mark Hamill. I was told it's actually Robert Pattinson doing the Heron. So that's cool. Cool to see Robert Pattinson getting some range here. But Loretto, man, what Boy and the Heron is coming in December. Studio Ghibli, not Miyazaki's last film, but a return to form. Man, y'all know what. If you're a big Miyazaki fan, y'all know we had that Earwig and the Witch. That was Goro Miyazaki. That wasn't great. But we're back to traditional style, Lo. How we feeling about the Boy and the Heron?
10, baby. It's a 10. And just like you, I actually avoided it. I just want to watch the movie. I'm going to be honest. Like, it was exciting to know there's a trailer out there. It's exciting to see this amazing cast. But I want to watch the movie. I don't want to see nothing. I want to have it all fresh and go in blind, just enjoy the experience.
I get it, man. I 100% understand. Like, at this point, I saw the sub trailer and I was like, oh, it looks really cool. And what's nice about the sub trailer is it seems to me that the sub seems to kind of still hold some things back. And I'm like, I don't know if I watch the dub trailers, are going to give me everything. I just want to go in and watch. I'm seeing it Wednesday. I just want to wait. I'm just going to wait. But I will admit that voice cast sounds freaking awesome. I mean, Gemma Chan's part of it as well. Like, you've got a stacked up cast, so I love that. We've got Elliot here in the comments with a 10. John Lee, Jim being invincible. Tell your boy Loretto to get on it. Tell him to get on Jim being invincible. Because they are so good. I mean, outpacing the
I'm
hell
slacking.
out of outpacing the
Real
hell
quick,
out
I want to speak to John Lee saying he wished they hired more like professional voice actors. Mark Hamill's definitely one. And I also just wanted to note that all the previous Studio Ghibli English dubs, they've generally tried to go for like higher, the A-list kind of actors. I mean, Kirsten Dunst, I think wasn't she Kiki in Kiki's Delivery Service? I think we had a Dakota Fanning and which one was it? Was that My Neighbor Totoro? It was My Neighbor Totoro, and
that was a Spirited Away, was it? I think you might be right. Maybe Totoro. But I know she was.
Yeah, I think it was Totoro, and it was you know what was funny? It was both Fannings. It was Dakota Fanning and Elle Fanning. They were the sisters, and then
I remember.
yeah. So and even I think Howl's Moving Castle. I can't remember, but Princess Mononoke had a good cast too. Like they always get some really strong actors for those. So
yeah, like it's always been there in my opinion with Studio Ghibli specifically, not all anime movies. But it's always been their prerogative, in my opinion, to get like actors, like big actors, big name actors. So, and Bale has done Howl's Moving Castle. So these people have all been involved with Studio Ghibli productions to some capacity. So if anything, they're bringing people back, which is great. I would even fair to say Bale is like damn near a voice actor as well. Okay, after that English dub, I'm seeing no more footage. Good. Let's bring it to a screeching halt with the footage. I'm done with the Marvel's clips. I've been going nuts, y'all. And I've been liking it, but there's so much. Florence Pugh, yeah, she wasn't Puss in Boots: The Last Witch. She was Goldilocks, which I was like, dude, hands down, she's killing it with the voice acting. But yeah, I'm with you, Lo. I'm at a
baby girl staying busy.
Yeah, she's staying busy, bro. Her and Io Adabiri. But I'm with you, bro. I'm at a straight up 10 out of 10, baby. Easily. The English voice cast did nothing but elevate it for me. I'm very excited for how Miyazaki to come back and do a Ghibli film, okay? Because we know that old Earwig and the Witch was horrible. So I'm glad to see him back involved, and glad that there's not going to be. This is going to be his last movie. I'm glad. I'm actually glad to hear that. What's going on, Marvel Lat News? Good to see you. Tyler is subs over dubs. Listen, I don't discriminate in here, but yes, some stuff that most anime, I go sub, but listen, Dragon Ball Z, I'm not about to watch it no damn sub. I'm just being real with you, bro. But yes, for most anime, I would go sub over dub. All right, Lo, let's move on to our next one.
I feel like there's certain things where the voices work out, but
sorry, I'm so sorry. I think there's a small delay. Go ahead, man. My fault.
You're good. No, you're good.
Okay, for sure. We will move into the Fall Guy, which I'm gonna be real with you guys. I thought it was a Fall Guys video game movie. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, we're all the little colorful, chunky dudes, and that's not what it is. But let me read you the premise of the Fall Guy. It is actually a film adaptation of the 1980s TV show of the same name, which is about a battered and past his prime stuntman, Colt, finds himself working on a movie set with the A-list star for whom he doubled long ago. When the star goes missing and the film is in danger of being shut down, he volunteers to investigate the disappearance and find the missing actor. Definitely thought it was like a Fall Guys movie, but that's not the case. And this starring Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, Winston Duke, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Hannah Waddingham, and Stephanie Hsu. Like, it's stacked up, by the way, and the trailer looked like a lot of fun. Like, I think it looks funny. I like this cast. I really enjoy what they're going for here, and I'm just glad it ain't that video game movie. Because I was like, dude, really? We don't got to do all that bullshit. But yeah, I think it looks good, and I really like Ryan Gosling being like this kind of goofier kind of character lately, like in Barbie and this. I like when Ryan Gosling can be a little goofy. And I'm glad that we get this energy from him in this movie. it looks like it can be a really fun time. And Winston Duke, I'm like excited to see him and Ryan playing off of one another. What do you think, man? I mean, thank goodness it's not a video game adaptation, right?
Yeah, no, and so it has that kind of vibe of like Nice Guys, which is one of my most favorite films of the past decade, with Ryan Gosling playing that kind of oddball. Like he does comedy really well. Also, David Leitch. I mean, I loved Bullet Train, and Bullet Train had a stat cast. It was action packed, very much in the same vein, same tone, and I'm on board.
I didn't even realize he was
I liked.
directing.
Yeah, I liked Bullet Train more than most. It was definitely a fun time, and I feel like he's bringing that same energy to this. I was laughing earlier because I was like, "This was a TV show? Like I've never heard of it, but that's cool."
Right, I ain't never heard of it either. It's like, oh, okay. And I never heard of the TV show either, but I didn't even notice it was David Leitch. Awesome, that helps. Now, uncredited, but co-director of John Wick, the first one, Atomic Blonde, Deadpool 2, Bullet Train. I like Bullet Train a lot, actually. Like I had a lot of fun with Bullet Train too. So I'm here for it. I think he's got a lot of style. I think his comedy is really funny. I think he knows how to pair actors together who would make really good duos. Brian Tyree Henry.
I can watch a whole ass movie of Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry. Like I could watch that all day.
I'm like, give it
Tangerine.
To us. Tangerine, baby. Living a Tangerine. I was like, yeah, they were like really fun together. So I'm thinking we're gonna get that type of energy, maybe between Ryan and Winston, and you got Emily Blunt in there, and I'm so looking forward to it. I can't wait. And seeing that David Leitch did it just makes it even higher for me. So I'm at like a solid 8.5, knowing that it's David Leitch now. I was at like an 8, but like I'm at like an 8.5 now. Where you at, Lo?
I'm definitely at an 8 just because story-wise, I don't think this is as strong as at least as Bullet Train or anything like that. But I love Emily Blunt as well. I didn't even mention her earlier. So Emily Blunt, Ryan Gosling, sign me up.
What you think, Emily Blunt, supporting actress? Are we looking at a win, possibly?
I don't know about a win, but that I think she's definitely in the conversation for sure. I loved her performance in Oppenheimer. It was so like it's really one of those understated ones. She didn't do a lot. It's not showy, but God, like you feel it in your soul, her eyes, her pain, like you just feel it with a look. And Lily Gladstone had a very similar kind of somber performance. So
Lily Gladstone, she would have had the dub, bro. Dub. Don't think it's happening with her running an actress, but that's okay. We're still supporting you, Lily. Yeah. We love you.
I think she'll still get a nom. I think she'll still get a nom for sure.
Absolutely. Like I think she's definitely getting that Best Actress nom. I just don't think she's getting the trophy. Why did I say it like that? What the fuck? But anyway, 8.5 for me, 8 for Lo. We got a lot of 8s in the comments. I noticed G. Colby was an 8. It's Ryan Gosling basically playing a combination of driving the Nice Guys. Totally. That's a good reference there. What's going on, Professor the Film Fan? Good to see you, man. Nice Guys was an underrated film. Nice Guys was good. That shit was good, baby. And then we have let's talk about this one, bro, because I'm telling you, bro, there's not one miss in this goddamn franchise yet. Like the Planet of the Apes franchise, the newer one, the Planet of the Apes franchise, I can say I've liked each and every one a lot so far. I mean, I'm like looking at this new one and I don't feel... What's nice about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is that, first of all, it's a mouthful to say, but what I like about it is that every single movie stays in this kind of style, in the same style, but it feels to me like they can get different stories out of these and that we can just explore as many as possible. I'm a little worried because we're rolling with the Blade Runner, or no, not Blade Runner. We're rolling with the Maze Runner director, but that's okay. It's all right. I didn't like the Maze Runner movies, but Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes just looks so visually stunning The apes are super, like, obviously by now they're very intelligent. But let's just read the premise real quick, guys. Generations after the events of War for the Planet of the Apes. So there ain't no Caesar salads. We going on with new characters. Many ape clans have emerged in the oasis to which Caesar led his fellow apes, while humans have regressed into a feral state. When the ape leader Proximus Caesar perverts the teachings of Caesar to enslave other clans in search of the last traces of a secret human technology, the ape Noah embarks on a journey to find freedom alongside a young human woman named May. So I don't think any of these people are super recognizable in the cast, but the director is Wes Ball, who did the Maze Runner trilogy. Not the strongest trilogy, in my opinion. But I think it looks really good, and I really love the Planet of the Apes trilogy. So I'm like, based on the Planet of the Apes material that we got, I'm very excited. Like, very excited. I mean, the first three were so good. War, Dawn, Planet of the Apes, so fucking good, dude. Like, I just really, I love the series. I think it's action packed. I like the voice acting. I like Caesar. I like it all, man. I really enjoy it, man. Like, this one, I need to see a little bit more, but from where I saw that trailer, I'm sitting at a hard like 9 out of 10, man. What you doing? Where you sitting?
So real quick, shouts out to John in the chat. I'm actually a Tim Burton Planet of the Apes apologist. I actually really like that one. I know a lot of people don't like that one, but
by the way, me talking about the new one was not a slight against the Tim Burton one. I like that one as well. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I liked it, but John, this is a separate universe, not related at all. So this kills me, right? Because I loved Rise. I love Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, with directed by Matt Reeves. I don't know what happened when it released. I never saw War. For whatever reason, I never finished the trilogy, guys. So I'm definitely gonna catch up before Kingdom comes out. Yeah, I know it kills me. I never finished the story, guys. But yeah, I'm seconding Elliot's comment. I wish Matt Reeves was behind the camera here, but the teaser is a teaser or trailer. It looked pretty interesting. So
yeah, it's just like a little teaser, kind of just like flowing over landscapes and showing us what's going on. I'm with you with the Matt Reeves, man. I'm like, yo.
Hey, Leo, Tyler called me out. Guilty. I love that twist. That's great. Because it's like, you can't, if anyone knows the original Planet of the Apes, you can't redo that ending. So I just thought that it was a tasteful way to redo that. I don't know, in my opinion. So
correct, John. Divine Joy Randolph seems to be in the front, but what's going on, Agamotto? First three are amazing. My boy Pat, what's up, man? The first three are amazing. Yep. I hope this one delivers too. It's like you said, Lo, I want Matt Reeves back. Give me Matt Reeves again. Because for fuck's sake.
Yeah, so that, you know what I mean? The director, it kind of lowers my hype a little bit. I'm like,
Listen, I was at a 10, and then I'm like looking up info while we're talking here, and I was like, ooh, Wes Ball? Yikes.
Who?
That old Snoop Dogg clip. Who? Yeah. Oh my God. What's going on, Amanda? Hey. Loves the mug. What is your mug? I've been seeing you sipping over there. Oh, shit. Oh, hi, Mark. That's great. I didn't even see that. That's awesome.
You're tearing me apart, Caesar.
Fucking Joe saw it in the comments.
Wink, wink.
Caesar salad. Like, I mean, hell, I could use a good Caesar. I'll be real with you.
Oh man, see now they're dumping on me. All right, Colby. I don't know about all that ape kissing stuff, man.
G. Kobe getting on you. Modern apes, there's a lot of bad. I prefer the books. Yeah, I never got around to the Maze Runner books, but I heard the books were really good. I did not like the first two movies. The third one was okay. I liked the third one.
The first book is pretty good. But the movie didn't quite capture it. Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that first movie without even having read the book. Did Rise get a VFX? I think one of these got nominated for visual effects.
I think both Rise and Dawn got visual noms, but they didn't really get anything else. No love anywhere
like,
else.
Not a win, but a visual nominate. I think. We got Kevin Davis, the box office predictor in the house, saying close to $1 billion for Kingdom.
What's up, Kevin?
You know what? When does that come out?
Colby got us. They all got noms.
That's right. Okay, so I was like, I think they all got visual effects. Sorry, Lo. I'm just looking up real quick. This one, it doesn't. Okay, so May, you might be right, Kevin. I mean, the cusp of summer. I think this is a good summer opener here.
And also, I think, like, as you can see with everybody's like love for this trilogy, there's a lot of fans of it. So I think they'll come back. Yeah, I know. He's taking shots, Colby.
Boo, 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 boo.
Hey, real talk though. Hey.
No, sir, I'm not bald.
No, but really though, I wanted Marky Mark to kiss the blonde chick. I was kind of mad that he liked the Helena ape.
Yeah, I'll admit, on a look back, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know about that story decision.
I mean, like, okay, I get like the connection or whatever, but I don't know. I like the blonde girl.
Me too. Like, I don't know, family.
Right.
But guys, we got to move on to our last trailer of the week. We had quite a few trailers this week. Echo, baby. This is perfect because we're going to segue into some Marvel next. But I got to admit, Lo, holy smokes, bro. This trailer gave me nodes of Daredevil, gave me nodes of what Marvel was doing on the Netflix shows. Like, I was like, dude, if this is anything even close to what this trailer is depicting, I'm a straight up 11 out of 10 because it looks awesome. It's action packed. We get more Kingpin. We get more of the connection between those two because I was thinking that was something that was robbed out of Hawkeye, which I'm glad they're expanding on here, not in Hawkeye, because Hawkeye was for Kate Bishop and Clint Barton. But I love bringing in Kingpin here in a role we may see a little bit more. But I like the gritty look of it. I loved that action sequence where the sound was dulled because I love POV sequences. So looks like we're going to get some cool POV shots. The action looks awesome. It's 5 episodes dropping all at once in January. Daredevil's going to appear. Kingpin's going to appear. Old bogus Twitter person that y'all know who I'm talking about was talking about Jessica Jones was supposed to show up, whatever. I'm super hyped for the content that was in that trailer. That it looks awesome from that trailer. It looks like there's a lot of Native American culture involved in the script as well, and I'm really looking forward to where they go with that. Man, I am sitting at a 10 out of 10. I know that's a complete 180 from what I was saying here months ago, that I was barely anticipating Echo, but I'm at a loss for words, guys. I love the trailer. It looks gritty. It looks fucking awesome. It's TVMA. Spotlight, they're saying, is going to be a more character-driven Marvel series. I'm here for it. Lo, where you sitting, bro?
Man, a couple weeks ago, we were dumping on Echo, guys, and I want to formally apologize. Honestly, I'm like at an 8. I feel like there's still room for this to kind of not meet expectation, but the trailer looked good. It's nice to see Vincent D'Onofrio back. Is Daredevil in this? Is Charlie Cox going to be making an appearance?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's a huge win. And yeah, we'll see. I'm hopeful, but at the same time, I'm trying not to get my hopes up too much. But you know, it's a Hulu thing, and this could be a whole new direction for the MCU to kind of correct their course with some of their shows as of late. I know it's not. I don't know. Is it gonna? Is this a part of the Marvel spotlight? I know they're trying to open up those doors here. So
Yeah,
So
this will
Echo's going to be the first of the Marvel spotlight.
Yep.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, so I like that. I like that we're opening up the MCU to have more character-driven stuff. It sounds to me like the spotlight projects are really going to be a nice blend of the special presentation and show format to where it's like, okay, it's very focused on this one event, one character, driven by that character and their development. I'm down. Give us that, because I think I said this on the show last week, and I've said it like an echo chamber on Twitter. These shows got to be separate, bro. Separate them from the goddamn films. Make them their own thing. We should have led up to Young Avengers in the shows or Midnight Suns or something. We should be over here doing something else and while the movies are going, because then that gives people an incentive to want to watch the shows if they want to, or if they just want to tune into the movies, they don't have to watch the shows. So make the shows kind of run on their own over here. Leave the movies be. Let the MCU proper movies, let those be. Tyler talking about I had the fastest change up in history. Sure did. Apologies, because it looks great. Amanda, TVMA Echo, it looks fucking stellar. I'm telling y'all, stellar.
Hey, the second we got that dude up against the dumpster and Kingpin gave him a couple haymakers, I was like, we are getting violent in the show.
I was like, okay, this is TVMA. Because I was like, there's no goddamn way in a regular Marvel show this dude would be getting his ass beat to shreds like this. But and you know what? When he bent over and he was like saying he didn't, do the sign language stuff. Oh, I was like, Kingpin about to snatch his ass up. I didn't know they were going to show it. I thought he was just going to take care of him or whatever. He gets snatched out of the. I'm like, no, Kingpin straight up was wailing on this dude.
What's funny? I saw your reaction. I was cracking up. I was like, yes. That was like more or less the same reaction I had.
You seen Daredevil, right?
Most of it.
You saw season 1?
Yes.
Man, remember when Kingpin was closing old boy's head in the car door? That's what that reminded me of. And I was like,
somewhere Guy Ritchie was smiling at that scene because he's done that in Lock, Stock, and Snatch, but yeah, somewhere he was smiling.
I know. Guy was like, "That's my Lock, Stock."
Yo, Manda is mad about Hawaiian Kingpin. Hey, he wasn't that bad.
He was on vacation, and that's like a comic book outfit. I like the little Hawaiian shirt. I was like, let Kingpin kick back.
I will say though, his fight with Kate was a little Home Alone, but
yeah, that was not great. But we've got a good comment from Elliot here. Marvel knows how to win back fans. Yeah, they definitely dropped that at a certain time, but I think part of me thinks because they thought Quantumania was going to be so good, they had a little bit of a different thought process going on when it came to their properties. I think they were kind of like, oh, Echo's not very MCU heavy, kind of push that off. And it's like, no, that's what we want. We want the stuff that's unique. We want the stuff that feels fresh. So I think they kind of hid and buried this one because it was so different from everything else. And now that, oh, go ahead.
Honestly, do you also feel like some of the buzz with Killers of the Flower Moon got them to kind of maybe push this closer together because of the Native American ties? Because I feel like that was very much a focal point of the trailer.
Yeah, I wonder if that inspired the trailer edit as well. Because it's very, very Native American in culture. And I know they had Echo lined up for this, so I was like, well, it makes sense timing wise. But you're right, the spotlight on Native American culture. It does seem like they're kind of capitalizing on the Killers of the Flower Moon stuff right now. I don't give a damn. I'm happy for my Native American brothers and sisters. I'm glad y'all are finally getting work. Finally. Because between Prey, Killers of the Flower Moon, and this, finally my brothers and sisters getting some work. So I'm glad to see it. Very happy to see the Native tribes finally getting some goddamn work acting wise and them using full Native American casts. I've said it before, I'll say it again. One Halloween special for 5 years, like Werewolf by Night, leading up to Midnight Suns. Man, Pat, you spitting, bro. Spitting.
I like that.
Like, they came out with Werewolf by Night in color, and I watched it, and there are some portions of it where it does feel a little bit like a new experience with the color, but it definitely didn't have the same oomph and style as the black and white. It just didn't. It was originally shot in color, by the way. So them releasing it in color, they just released the original version. But it's okay. I like the black and white way better.
I'm a purist. I love classic Hollywood, and I thought it was fine the way it was.
The Universal Monster movie edge is what that helps. The black and white look helps that. So them releasing it how it was intended to be, because they shot it in color, and Michael Giacchino was the one who was like, "Hey, let's make it black and white. Let's change it up." So praise you, Michael Giacchino, because that was a great decision.
JHC brings up a good point.
Which one was? Oh, feels like they are no longer confident in themselves. Yeah, I think they had this confidence in Endgame, like they were just peak top of the franchise world, and now there's competition, baby. Now you got Spider-Verse to worry about. You got Gen V and Invincible on one end. They got competition. They're not just in this alone anymore. It's not just them in the DCEU that's a dud. It's like, no, everybody's capitalizing on the superhero stuff, and other people are doing it better. Like, if y'all have seen Gen V or Invincible, miles better in some cases. So they don't have the luxury of just being like, well, that one sucked, but we got Guardians around the corner. It's okay. They don't have that luxury anymore. But man, this is the perfect segue, guys, because we are going to get into the main meat and potatoes of the show, y'all. It's time for the Roundup, y'all. The main meat and potatoes of the show. I'm going to hand it over to my boy Lo. Take it away.
All right. Let's check that box office pulse. Five Nights at Freddy had a record-breaking Halloween opening, but they break a new record with a 75% drop-off in its second week, and the film is still number one, but a measly 19.4 mil. Nobody went to the movies this weekend. Taylor Swift is in second place. Killers of the Flower Moon, I think, had close to 10 mil in third, but really low box office numbers across the board here. I mean, the number one not even getting 20 mil says a lot about what people wanted to see this weekend, and it just so happened that it was Five Nights at Freddy's. But wow, to go from 78 mil to drop to 20, that's insane. I think the bad word of mouth probably started going around this week as well, and maybe some people saw it at home at Peacock. Maybe they thought twice about going to the theater. So I'm actually not surprised about this. I didn't think it'd be that drastic, but I think just the record breaking is just comedy from like highest highs to lowest lows. This is just comedy in terms of like, who knew what to expect with this film, but this is just gold. This is like perfect stuff to kind of like, highlight and talk about. It's comedy. What you think about this, Leo?
So I think the biggest culprit is Peacock, because there's no incentive to go see it again. I can just watch it at home from my couch. If I went and saw it the first weekend, hey, it was out. Hey, I was among the crowd. Awesome. Now I can rewatch Five Nights at Freddy's at home. Why do I need to go to the theater again? So we were talking about this last week. I was a little bit shocked because I was like, okay, it came out on Peacock. So it sounds like with this strategy, and maybe this is just one example, maybe this is an exception, not the rule. Sounds like with this strategy, you could potentially have a very big opening weekend and then it just plummets because everybody can go home and watch it. So I think this right here is the consequence of releasing it on Peacock at the same time. There's no incentive to replay. These big box offices have legs and get more box office revenue throughout the weeks because people go and rewatch the movie. I've watched No Way Home something like 18 times in the theater. People watched Endgame 4 or 5 times in the theater. That's what creates the box office numbers, really. Because the first weekend, of course, it's huge. I mean, we all want to see it. But when people go back and rewatch it, that's what makes the money. And yep, this was on Peacock, so why go watch it again?
And to your point, Leo, I think that feeling of like, oh my God, did you see Endgame? Do you want to see it again? It's like not only were you watching it again, you were going with your friends, you were going with your family, you were going with a group of people. Maybe they haven't seen it yet, but it was your second or third time. And then, so I think that's a part of the success, especially with not just Endgame, something like Top Gun. Top Gun had that kind of word of mouth where people were like, yo, did you see that Top Gun? And then everybody was talking about it. So,
I mean, we can basically blame Top Gun for like ushering back in the movie going again, really. Because it was like we were stuck in the pandemic. And it was when did Top Gun come out? Because I mean, No Way Home, sure. But like Top Gun came out.
I think it was like May-ish, like beginning of summer, and it lasted through the whole summer.
The whole damn summer, dude. And people were just rewatching it and rewatching it and rewatching the shit. So yeah, that kind of movie going is basically due to that. Exactly like you said, the word of mouth, people talking it up. If I talked up Five Nights at Freddy's, if I was like, I love this movie, I loved it, guess what I would say if I wasn't a fucking critic? Hey, but I can watch it at home. We can watch it on Peacock. Guys, you want to come over and watch it on Peacock? Let's get some popcorn and we can all watch it. That's what you could say.
Yeah, no, definitely the simultaneous release kind of bit this one in the butt for sure.
But man, the animatronics look good. I gotta give them that. Them animatronics look awesome.
By the way, I actually finished the film, Leo, and it kind of caught me off guard. Like in the middle of the movie where they started building like a fort, and I was like, this is kind of fun. Like I didn't know what I was watching. I was like, is this supposed to be a horror film?
Like over there, like we watching a fucking drama.
No, it's like not even that. It was like this little girl having fun with her furry friends. Like I was like, this is like a straight up like child fantasy movie or something. Like it was weird. Like
the fuck was low on 1, 2, 3 movies on the wrong damn movie. I'm just playing. Yeah.
Anyways,
you're right. It don't feel like a horror movie. It wasn't that scary.
Yeah, no, not even in the slightest. Like, and for a game that was known for its jump scares, I thought that was a weird choice.
Yeah. We start the movie at Saw, and then we jump somewhere else.
Right. No, the tonal shift was insane. Like, what?
Because that first like 5 or so minutes when the dude's strapped in the chair, I was like, well, shit, were people wrong? And then, it doesn't really.
It slowly walked off a cliff with Josh Hutcherson beating up someone's dad in the water fountain. Look, guys, I understand his trauma with his brother or whatever, but as a person in the security industry, I don't care if you think someone's getting kidnapped. You do not beat them up in a water fountain.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't think I've ever seen a mall security just like pummeling some dude in a water fountain like that, but okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, even if he suspected the guy, there's steps you take before you tackle him into the water fountain.
And I shit you not. So I was watching the movie, right? And I like turned away to like real quick to like pick something up. And in that turn away moment is when I turned away real quick. He looks over, and then the next moment I turn back and he's like beating up a dude in the fountain. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. What happened?
And then the poor kid's like, Dad.
God, man, nobody wants to see their dad get his ass beat.
Yeah, I don't know. From there, it kind of walked off a cliff for me. But with that being said, hats off to Emma. What's her name? Emma Tammy? She had some success, and she had some success, and it looks the reign of Five Nights at Freddy's has ended.
JHC said 5 Nights at Sesame Street.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. This one's for you, Leo. The CW's Superman and Lois show will end with its upcoming 4th season. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know a lot about it. I've heard lots of great things from this guy right here. So take it away, Matt. How do you feel about this? Is this too early? I've seen some people say that they'd rather it end on a good note than it drag on and suck. So how do you feel about that? like dragging on or cutting it at the right time.
I'm happy, guys. And I love the show. I don't like the new Jonathan as much as I like the old Jonathan, but I do like the show a lot. Easily the best to come out of the CW Arrowverse stuff, in my opinion. Let's end it now while it's good. So 4 seasons, totally okay. 4 seasons, end it now before we drag it out to 7 and all of a sudden it's bad, or I'm okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's end it. I am happy. I think the last season of this was amazing. Like amazing. Some of the best acting in the CW period. So I think we go one more season. Go ahead and bring it to a close, a tight, good close, and say goodbye because we've got Superman Legacy around the corner. So it's okay. I think it's a good end button. Go ahead, Law. My fault.
No, I would say that makes a lot of sense with Superman Legacy right around the corner. But I wanted to ask you, like, is there possible threads here that might get unfulfilled or plot points that fall off? Or do you think this is going to tie up nicely?
I think this will tie up the loose ends. I am probably about 4 or 5 episodes from finishing season 3, but I think once we get to season 4, they'll tie everything up with the neat bow, and then everything will be good. Cool. Joe-san, Tyler Hoechlin over Henry Cavill. You say L opinion, but I kind of agree. And one thing I'll say is the reason I'm saying that is because we got more material from Tyler Hoechlin. So it's like, all right, well, he got a whole 3 seasons of a show. Henry Cavill got a movie and then a couple of cameos, really. Part of Batman vs. Superman and then a cameo.
Is Manda still in the chat? Because I need to know what she thinks about this.
Let us know, Manda. Listen, if you watch Superman and Lois, let us know. Because I liked Henry Cavill as Superman, but Tyler Hoechlin, I almost hate to compare because this is Dad Superman versus Henry Superman, who is very much a still growing, finally kind of came into his own in BVS. Like, it's a kind of different eras for Superman. It's also with the Jack Quaid, My Adventures of Superman. That's like very, very, very early young adult Superman. So we're dealing with different Supermen here. So while I like Tyler Hoechlin a little bit more, I see the argument for Cavill. Uh-oh. Thing low froze, y'all. In terms of accuracy of the character, yeah, Tyler Hoechlin was definitely a little more accurate. I think he had the Blue Boy Scout feel and look. So I think that like he emulated the personality and really had the spirit of Superman more. But again, I'm sorry. I just think it's not Henry's fault. That script and story was also not written by Zack Snyder. So, oh no. Oh shit, y'all. How many seasons is too long? As long as they can keep the quality going, I'd say, about 4 to 6, I would say is like the perfect ending point, in my opinion. I mean, we saw what happened with Game of Thrones. Oh man, we got to season 8 and that was a dumpster fire, at least in my opinion. Love the show, but I wanted to end in 5. Yeah, they just go ahead. We'll have it ended at 4. Like, let's just go ahead and wrap it up. Superman and Lois was a really fun, really good show. Bitsy Tulloch, the best Lois Lane I've ever seen in my life. Fantastic. Watch One Piece. Not the anime. I'm working on the live action though. 6 seasons in the movie. Community. When the hell are we getting that movie, by the way? Like, geez. But guys, oh my goodness. Lowe's got the slides, so he'll be back in shortly. But we got to talk about briefly this Marvel report, guys. We got to talk about it. And probably not even briefly. This is going to be the main subject of the show. Let us know down in the comments. How you feeling about Marvel right now? Just let me know. How you feeling about Marvel just in general? Their properties, their movies coming up, the shows. How we feeling? Because I think the public's feeling a little fatigued, and Variety certainly wanted to highlight what was going on. So let me address something real quick. The Variety article, I'm not going to Ash Ketchum, I know. The Variety article is definitely a report. So we don't want to say that it's the truth and everything in there is reported is real and blah, blah, blah. I think what the Variety article does best is highlight the many issues that are going on behind the scenes, because there are things that we saw and there are things that actually conspired, and then there are things that are like reports, like that Blade plot or whatever. Hey, what's going on? Hey, you with us, Lo? Hey, you with us, buddy?
Hey, I'm back. Sorry, guys.
No problem. All
technical difficulties.
All good.
When you have a live show, things happen, right?
Yeah, we're actually just slightly talking about Marvel, but take it away with the spotlight, man. We'll get into that first, and then we'll break down that article.
Yeah, so as we highlighted with Echo earlier, Marvel Spotlight will be a new collection of street-level, character-driven stories that won't be as concerned of the larger MCU continuity. This is exciting. I didn't realize that in the line of comics, they actually had a Marvel Spotlight for all these like smaller characters, and I think Ghost Rider was a part of a lot of those. You know, a lot of these like smaller B to C list like characters on the roster get spotlighted appropriately. So I think this is really cool. This is exciting, and I think it's going to be a refreshing take on Marvel that, you know, will kind of change a pace for people that maybe they are getting fatigued, or maybe they're not feeling the direction that the MCU is at right now with the multiverse saga. So I think this is huge. And I know, Leo, I know you're excited.
Oh, yeah. The Spotlight series also has Spider-Woman. Werewolf by Night was in that series. Who else? Ghost Rider. Yeah, you said Ghost Rider. Moon Knight. Moon Knight was a big one in that series as well. So I think we're going to get kind of a darker, edgier MCU out of this. And I'm like, yes, this is the move we need at Marvel. We've been aching for some mature content, and I need a hard rated R Blade. I was watching Blade a couple mornings ago, actually the morning right after the Variety article came out, and I'm watching that opening action sequence between him and the Vampire Club, and I'm like, listen, if we don't have action like this, I don't want it. I don't. I'm just gonna be honest. I wish they would have just said screw it and got Chad Stahelski to do Blade, dude. I mean, make this shit stylish, man. I want a John Wick stylized, heavy action Blade, man. But yeah, this is great. TVMA. Ooh, Agamotto, great comment here. Wants to see Moon Knight season 2 under this banner. Absolutely. And I don't think it would be too jarring, in my opinion, and probably with a lot of fans of the MCU, to make a darker, edgier season 2 of Moon Knight. I'm super down for that. Because I feel
interesting
like they had to hold back.
They walked the line with some of the violence. Like it was there, but they, you know, a lot of cutaways, lots of indirect bloody parts. So yeah, that would be awesome, honestly.
Yeah, because like remember, there was that one sequence where he was like blipping in and out, and he would like blip back, and he's like, "Oh my god, there's like blood all over my hands," and it's like, I want to see you tearing them guys apart, man. You know what? This is a great point, Elliot. The pandemic and rushing production did play a part in some of the shows. Falcon and Winter Soldier got heavily affected by that. Moon Knight, same. She-Hulk, according to that article, not necessarily COVID, but shifting schedules. So the way that they're working is just not working. Morbius.
Also, this is like such a random little factoid they added with this news, but Michael Giacchino will have a theme specifically for Marvel Spotlight before each show, and that's kind of fun.
I'm down for that. Get him involved in the director's chair. Let him be the Kevin Feige of the Spotlights, y'all. Let him be the guy. Like, let him be the dude, bro, because Kevin got enough on his plate with the movies. Let somebody do this.
Right. No, and just seeing what he did with Werewolf by Night, I think he'd do a fine job. He could be like the Favreau of, you know, the way Favreau does Mandalorian, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. To add to Elliot's point, the Disney Fox merging plays a role. in the MCU situation? I definitely think so, but I don't work for Disney, so I can't quite say. But I think it has a little bit to do with it for sure. Uh-oh, y'all. I think Lo might have froze again. Uh-oh. Well, let's talk.
Mix.
Uh-oh. Oh man, poor Lo, he chopping up, y'all.
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You kind of cutting in and out. You're froze right now. let me get a screenshot of this freeze. Uh-oh. Lo, go ahead and dip on out and come back in. But let's talk specifically about one point from the article, and then once we get past this point, we'll kind of break it down a little bit more. So there was something being said in that Variety piece about the Avengers, and then bringing back Robert Downey Jr. or Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man and Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow for an Avengers movie. And part of me is like, no, duh. Of course, they're going to bring them back for Secret Wars. But part of me feels like if they were talking about that, they would have said Secret Wars. So there's some pieces of the article, like I said, that seem a little fishy. That one, the Blade plot being about a female-centered character and like it being about life lessons, I was like, I don't know about that. But with this Avengers, supposedly the report makes it sound like the Avengers are going to come. They want the Avengers original team to come back before Secret Wars, before just in the phase. So I'm like, I don't love the sound of that. What up, Lo? We got it.
What up?
We got it. Nope, we were just talking about this, man.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, I hate it. I hope it's just a rumor, and I hope it never happens.
You know, if they want to bring them back in Secret Wars, and if that's what they're talking about, okay, cool. I know that Secret Wars is going to be that big comeback for so many of the heroes. The Fox people are coming back. All these, fine, go ahead. But if we're talking like just digging them out of the trench mid phase 5 and giving us an Avengers movie, no, I don't want that at all. At all. I'm okay with that. Let's keep that away.
Also, I mean, logistically, I don't even see how they do this. And if they do this, the only thing I could think of is like a variant of Stark or a variant of Natasha. And I just hope that they don't fumble that bag if they do that. I hope it doesn't come out clunky, but it might be Portals 2.0, so.
Maybe so. I'm with you, man. That sounds so clunky. I really don't want to. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm just going to be 100%. It would completely defeat the purpose of their sacrifice. So let's not do that.
Well, that's my biggest thing. Yeah.
Right. If we bring them into Secret Wars, that's a perfect way to do it. Oh, this is the same Tony Stark, but from Earth 109876. That's fine. I'm cool with that. But like, if we're going to just get the Avengers team back just to get the Avengers team back, come on, man. Like that right there would be doing the DCU thing. Let's not do that.
It would feel like a cash grab.
Yeah, like totally. And them admitting failure. And I'm like, I don't want y'all to necessarily do that. John had an interesting question here. Wasn't there a line of comics that introduced characters like Shang-Chi? So Spotlight did introduce a lot of characters. I don't think Shang-Chi's in the Spotlight, though. Shang-Chi had his own line called Masters of Kung Fu, which I've read a lot of that. So Shang-Chi, I'm pretty well versed on him in Daredevil. But yeah, Masters of Kung Fu was like Shang-Chi's line, and it was pretty dope, man. Pretty good little line. Lo, you still there? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, he's still there, y'all.
You're like, did you fall asleep?
No, I just was making sure you weren't frozen. I was like, my poor man, my man.
No, I was trying to catch up with the comments, and y'all, I am having Wi-Fi problems, but thank you for the kind trash ass comments on my Wi-Fi. Thank you.
What's going on, Travis Mitchell? Good to see you.
Welcome.
Is Marvel in trouble? This Variety article that came out kind of talked about it a little bit. Man, so let's talk about this report. So, guys, first and foremost, I just want to start out by saying this is a report. So some of the stuff in it is probably half-baked. Like I think the stuff about the Blade plot and it being about one script being about one, like a girl and life lessons, I think that might very well be half-baked. But let's talk about the big main points of this article, besides the Avengers one, besides the spotlight, which wasn't in the article. But let's talk briefly about like the main points of contention in the article. So the article started out with their annual retreat. So they do a company retreat very often. The article started out with talking about their most recent one and that they were having issues with Jonathan Majors and the Kang situation. So there's a little bit of confusion on what to do next with that character after the legal troubles. I think the report says that Dr. Doom was like one of the possibilities. And again, that's something that's not confirmed, but that's in the report. And then another possibility is recasting the character. Lo, let's just start with that real quick. Do you think they should just recast? Like, I mean, and let's let controversy aside, all that aside, it's like, shouldn't they just recast Kang?
I was gonna say, I think that would be the best solution, and I think sidestepping to Doctor Doom would feel like such a jarring DC-like maneuver where they're just panicking. They recasted Rhodey. This isn't new. Like, I think if they have to, if Majors gets arrested or if they just don't want to deal with the controversy, recast him. And we wouldn't blink an eye as long as he's good.
Recast. Because let's be real, you have an in-universe explanation. A variant. You have an in-universe easy solution to this problem. It was a variant.
Or you could do what Don Cheadle did and just say, yeah, it's me. Let's move on.
And same with Mark Ruffalo. It's me. It's Banner. Let's move on. Like, it's just like...
Like, they didn't even address it. It was just like, I am him.
Next time, baby. Psych.
I'm Kang, man.
I'm Kang, man. That'd actually be fucking hilarious.
I would die, please. Oh my god.
The new Avengers team is severely overpowered, so I think they need to fail, especially during Kang Dynasty. I definitely think that Kang Dynasty they failing. Like, I think it's another Infinity War. Me be Kang? Nah, man, I sure don't have the acting chops. I can't act for shit. So, yep, just recast. Everybody's agreeing with us, Lo. Just recast. Recast.
Admittedly, controversy aside, Majors is a really fine actor. He's got talent, but it's not like he's irreplaceable. So
I'm gonna just name off a couple, and I know people won't agree with every single one, but I mean, John David Washington, Jonathan Boyega, David Oyelowo.
Man, you already got
Sterling
me.
K. Brown. I mean, there's actors on
give
actors.
Give it to Boyega. Oh, I like that.
God, I would love to see him.
He's got the size, the age. He could be dark. He could be mean. Yes.
Period, bro. I'm like, give it to some. Like, there's plenty of black male actors with range who are actually his Jonathan Majors complexion. So it's like we could pass this on. Sterling K. Brown, Aldous Hodge.
Ooh, well, Yeah, I can see that.
I wonder if he's got the range. Is kind of where I'm like,
yeah, because the reason why I like Boyega is he could do the Victor Timely, like, but he could also do the beat Scott Lang's ass. Like, I like that. I could see that with Boyega.
Woman King, John Boyega.
You know what I'm saying?
They clone
he could be mean. He could be fun. Yes. Attack on the Block.
John Boyega. And from Star Wars, John Boyega. So it's like this man could do a lot. So
he could do it.
I think he could, which it feels a little odd to say that because I'm like, man, Majors was such good, but I'm like, Boyega, great. We've got so many. And then there was another point in the article that, again, some of these things have been said before, but essentially their strategy after Endgame was that there would never be a lapse in superhero fare with either a film in theaters or a new television series streaming at any given moment. It's pretty clear that that was their strategy, and I think it's clear it's not working. When you give people too much of something, think about when you were younger. There's probably some kind of snack food or something that you just ate way too much of and you got sick. And now as an adult, you don't know that you would go back and eat it that much. For me, it's Doritos nacho cheese. I ate them till I got sick, and now I don't want them anymore. That's what they're doing. They're overfeeding people so much. And it's just like the problem. I think the biggest issue is that the TV shows are basically required content. Look at Multiverse of Madness. Look at the Marvels and Miss Marvel. These things feel like needed content. And unfortunately, they're just not the quality of the movies. So what do you think about them and their strategy of like, let's just keep loading up shop? Uh-oh. I think Low frozen again, y'all. Boyega hasn't played villain roles very often. Nope. He's played kind of more rugged characters like They Clone Tyrone and Attack the Block, but like definitely nothing like villainous. So I would love to see him as a villain, like a straight up villain. And I mean, Woman King, he's a villain. So as for introducing Doom, maybe during Age of Ultron. I think if you want to go Doom, that's the next saga. I think you do F4 because isn't F4 supposed to be before this? So I think maybe you introduce Doom in F4 and he's the big bag for the next saga for sure. Yo.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Cool.
The Marvels, yeah, they can explain what happened in the shows and the movies, which I think they'll catch us up, but still, it just feels like these shows are required content and they shouldn't feel that way. Holy shit, action packed. Dropped a big one here. Boyega would be great for Blade. Fuck yeah, he'd be great for Blade. I like Mahershala, though. I like that cat.
You know what's interesting, Leo? I didn't realize how much of that was like an issue for people. Just like, for example, my local AMC that I go to regularly, I'm really chummy with the bartender. Mm-hmm. He said one of the reasons why he's not excited for the Marvels is he feels like, oh, I didn't watch the show. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know anything about it. I don't know. I mean, he feels like overwhelmed, like he doesn't know who Teyonah Parris is, and he feels like he doesn't understand, like, and I didn't realize that's an issue for a lot of casuals. So
they feel out of the loop. They feel like, oh, like here's the thing. And I feel like if the advertising too kind of like spotlighted Monica and Kamala, I think that would have been a good thing because then you invite people in as like hey, these are new characters you've never seen before. Here's who they are. Instead of having them propped up, which part of it's the strikes. I mean, not being able to see them go on GMA and go on shows together is definitely hurting. But I think if you would have directed the marketing to these characters feeling like new characters, it would have helped at least a little bit. But we'll move on to the next main point in the article, the Marvels. It's just tracking for not doing well. I think it's tracking to open up at 75 to 85 mil domestically. So that's far below what Ant-Man did, and it's also far below what Guardians of the Galaxy did, which was like over 115. I think it was like 118 point something. Is what it opened to domestically. So that's a pretty steep drop. Not jokes on saying pop a cap on Wi-Fi. I am screaming. Oh my God. So, and here's what I think action-packed. My thought process is that the end of Phase 4, they should have just made Secret Invasion an Avengers movie. You solve a lot of problems by bringing these people together for a common cause and getting us to care more about these characters, giving them more screen time. Bring back Shang-Chi, Carol, Black Panther, one or two of the Eternals, a bunch of the people from this phase, Yelena Belova, bring it, heck, even She-Hulk if you want to. Bring in a bunch of people. and have them team up against the Secret Invasion, Skrulls. Then that gives them some kind of purpose and unites them for a greater cause. And Secret Invasion is such a big comic book major storyline anyway, that it would have made sense to me to make that an Avengers movie. Lo, you back? Uh-oh, poor guy. Maybe try turning off your camera, Lo, if you can. With the Marvels, you only have to watch Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. Yeah, well, Miss Marvel is asking a lot still. And I think, yeah, with Monica, people still feel like they have to watch WandaVision. So it's kind of that feeling. Should have been the phase instead of this multiverse. Man, that would have been fucking dope. Lo, you there? Uh-oh. I have to come back again, bro. MCU is really in trouble. Yeah, you know, I'm not ready to call it quits though. Lawrence Support, what's going on? Good to see you. I'm not quite ready to call it quits though. But guys, the Marvels opening up at 75 to 85 million is the tracking. Y'all let me know down in the comments why you think that's the tracking number. I'll be honest with you guys. I think the reason why it is, first and foremost, misogyny. I'm sorry. The misogyny is real with this one. The people haven't even seen the shit. And we're already, oh, it's bad. It's so terrible. And I'm like, I know that there's a big part of the toxic fan base that hates Brie Larson. And so that's a big part of it. What's going on, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yep. Got you.
All right, cool. I'll just be a ghost for now, man.
Sorry,
Until I
brother.
get my.
That might help your issue for now.
Right. Yeah. Just lower the bandwidth, and I'll have to get a hardwire connection next time.
But Lo, we're talking just a little of the Marvels and the box office and how it's tracking so low. What do you think that is? And I said one of the big reasons is the misogyny, the toxic fanboys in the base. And then I think another big one is just there's so much competition after. It's summer all over again.
I think it's a little bit of both. Half of it is the toxicity. The other half is, I mean, remind me, how well did the first one do? I can't even remember.
Oh, over $1 billion.
The first Captain Marvel?
Yes, sir.
Oh, shoot. Well, yeah, I don't know what it is. I think, people soured on the character, and I think just as a whole, people are what do you call it? The temperature on the MCU is low. It's been a long time since Guardians 3. I mean, it hasn't been that long, but it just feels like it's been a long time. And I feel like, the fans are just displeased. So,
yeah, I think there's just a little, well, and, you look at the last movie and it was like, okay, Guardians of the Galaxy. But if you're a Marvel diehard, you're like, okay, and then we went right to Secret Invasion. And it feels like Secret Invasion is going to have nothing to do with this anyway. Action Pack brings up a good point here. The villain isn't very well known. I mean, that's the case with a lot of these, but you're right in terms of like Marvel fandom. Even Darbin, for like me, I was like, who? It's not like a huge one. Yo, Action Pack, you're preaching right now. You're spitting. Because that's my biggest problem with the Captain Marvel character in general. We just haven't seen her enough. She's been in Endgame she was in Endgame for 30 minutes. She's in the post-credit of Miss Marvel. She's been post-credit of Shang-Chi. She's barely fucking in the MCU. What's going on, Torin? Hey, what's going on? Good to see you. It's been a little while, man. How are you? But Lo, I think we can agree, bro. Definitely has to do with the misogyny a little and just the state of the MCU. Like you said, people are tired. Lo, you there? Uh-oh, I think he might be froze again, y'all.
We're here. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. But yeah, I think you're right, bro. I think there's a little bit of fatigue. We'll kind of slide past some of the VFX stuff. There was just like a couple of comments about the visual effects and that the She-Hulk and Quantumania, some VFX workers actually, bar for bar, we're talking about that one. And I guess there's some shots out of focus and stuff, and it's definitely due to changing schedules. And we've definitely talked about that and heard a lot about that around the Quantumania era with them working 12 hours. And that was just something that they kind of regurgitated in this article. Let's talk about the last main point, because we talked about the Avengers, we talked about all that. Blade, apparently, this is reports, nothing confirmed, people. Reports have come out that Mahershala Ali was thinking about stepping away because of the script. It's been through at least 5 writers, 2 directors, and 1 shutdown weeks before production. Feige brought in the Logan writer, Michael Green, and it's now slated for 2025 on a budget of less than $100 million. And listen to me right now. If it's anything like this Marvel Spotlight shit and like the potential that has to be, and we're making it a hard R with the $100 million budget, I'm down. That means that we're not going to have fucking Eternals flying through the sky and shit. We're not going to have Cap and Iron Man running through. No, we're going to have Blade hunting vampires. And that's what this should be. How do you feel about that, Lo? Because some people were like, oh no, 100 million. Oh no. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no, I'm all for a gritty take on the character, grounding the character for sure. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't he supposed to be tied in with Black Knight at the end of Eternals? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes. And I
so
totally okay
I'm not
with
sure
that, but
how far they were gonna take that. So
yeah, I'm just like, I just don't want Icarus zipping through the sky and shit. I'm like, all right, well, hold on. You know? But yeah, I think they might collab with those, because to me, the Eternals end screen was definitely Blade. I thought the post credit.
Yeah, and also, Action Pack brings up a good point. Can Mahershala really play a physical role like Blade for the next 10 years? I mean, you know, stunt doubles go a long way. As much as we want to see the physicality of Mahershala, you know, it's unfortunate because I feel like when was this announced? I feel like that would have been the perfect time to see him, and then it fell into development hell. And he's getting older, and we're getting older, and this movie's getting farther and farther away from being made. So it's a little frustrating for sure.
Yeah, this was announced at San Diego Comic-Con 2019. So about 4 years ago. He was like 45-ish. And keep in mind, he's like 10 years younger than Wesley Snipes. So I think when Snipes was playing Blade, he was about in his 30s. So yeah, it's going to be a little physically tough on Mahershala. But I think we can handle it for 10, but any further, probably not. Blade not coming out till 2028. It feels like it. My goodness, that Blade has just been through the ringer. Oh man, Blade. For real. Torin, nothing on Spider-Man 4. There were some rumors going around that MJ is still going to be involved, and I'm cool with that. Whatever. People are Spider-Man Twitter getting in an uproar about that one. As long as she's not instantly the love interest, it's fine. But Lo, did you watch Loki?
And holy crap, it got crazy.
It got crazy, guys. We'll segue right into that, y'all. We're just gonna go straight into Loki real quick since it's part of Marvel, but our last segment for the night, guys. We're gonna just talk a little bit about Loki. I do just want to say Gen V ended this week and Invincible season 2 started this week. Holy fucking shit. 2 great properties. Gen V ended perfectly and Invincible started wonderfully. So definitely go check those out. But Loki episode 5, baby. What did you think, Lo? Like, oh my goodness, Loki episode 5. I think that might be my favorite episode of Loki, the whole series so far, honestly.
Well, I mean, just that cliffhanger from 4. We didn't even talk about 4. So the cliffhanger from 4, man, I was speechless. I was just like, yo, what do we do? Like that look on their faces. Oh, that was crazy. But yeah, I'll admit the direction of 5 was really fun. I really like that whole concept of him slipping into the lives of what they should have been or could have been. I love seeing Mobius at the jet ski store.
Oh my God, finally.
Yes. And it was funny because he's like the perfect like used car salesman type, like just pushing his product, like like even when they were sitting inside that warehouse, whatever, he was like, "Hey, so you live by the water, or?"
He's trying to get a sale. He's talking about the TVA. He's like, no, were you talking about ATVs though? We have some of those. I think you mean ATV. Like, oh my God, perfect.
But to be honest, like the ending of 5 was just such the perfect like next step to the finale. So I'm excited, man. You know I love Loki. This is my favorite MCU show. So I can't wait to see where it ends up.
Yeah, I definitely think it's got a lot going for it with this finale. I think we could possibly see maybe like a mess up, but I'm like, I don't think so. I think this is gonna stick its landing. I mean, especially in my opinion, since episode 3, it's been like soaring, bro. Like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how you guys feel, but for me, better than season 1. I'm like a definitive better than season 1 with season 2 for me. That episode, not only did I love the individual scenes with everyone, but I loved the scene between Loki and Sylvie about them both being selfish, but Sylvie being like, you got to go back home. And he's like, where? I loved that exchange. And I think getting to see Hiddleston play off of them individually, I really liked a lot too. Like getting that isolation between Hiddleston and one of the others. I really like that. I'm like, man, Hiddleston is just carrying the MCU on his back right now. So yeah. I think that the acting was phenomenal. I like getting to see their like real life counterparts. I thought that was cool. You got the used ATV salesman, you got the doctor, the failed sci-fi author. Like I was like, this is perfect. Not only for their characters, but I think for the actors themselves, they have that sort of energy about all of them. Like I could totally see the woman who plays B-15 as a doctor. Like I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah, that's like perfect.
Yes. OB.
Yeah. And it was like you said about that scene, it was nice to see Loki's vulnerabilities, because even going back to the first season, he was in denial for so long. And here he's admitting he needs people. He loves like this crew that he's like been attached to for these past few, whatever. I can't even, it's hard to tell how long they've been, working together, because the TVA time works differently, whatever. But, he obviously has like a newfound family with them. So.
Yes, exactly. Because this is like some vulnerability we never really got to see him with in Thor. So I love that we get to see that here. And I love it, man. Like, the script in this episode, tight. Natalie Holt, please make her do some more scores in the MCU, please, because she is absolutely killing it with the sound, bro. Like, the sound design is just unreal. I hope she comes back and does like Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Honestly, I'm like, let her do them scores, man. Especially Kang Dynasty. I think you can really play up the sound in that movie. I'm wondering what's going on with Kang, but I didn't miss the timely stuff. Like I was kind of like, okay, taking an episode away from that stuff. I kind of liked being in this like, oh, like nether universe of like, oh, here's everybody else doing their real life thing. I like that. I like this different side, deeper side to these characters. So I really like it. I wonder what they're going to do now, though. Do you think he's going to go back and like stop the Sylvie, He Who Remains stuff, or like, where do we go from here? Because he's like, okay, I know how to bounce back now. So where is he going to bounce back to is my question. What do you think?
I think what's going to be fun, and again, I hope they don't just carbon copy it, but I feel like the vibe could very much be like a Back to the Future type thing.
Yeah.
And that'll be kind of interesting. So we'll see how they play with that, and like the choices, like you said, the choices he's going to make, like which point does he change to fix things, and that'll be interesting. And maybe we see him fail a couple times. That'll be fun to play with. Like,
yeah, I'm curious to see where they go with this. Where he bounces back to. Action Pack brings up a good point. Shane, we probably won't see Loki for a few years. Probably not. But I put up a question on Twitter that was like, okay, who do you think is the next like leader of the MCU? And like a lot of people thought it was going to be Loki. And I think he could be the next He Who Remains. Could totally see it. Do you think Renslayer is a Kang variant? I think a lot of us think that. Like, right? Do you think she's a Kang variant?
I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what they're doing with her. If I'm being honest, and I thought it was really interesting that exchange between her and King when he like it looked like they were like lovers, partners. I don't know what that was, like lovers, I guess. And then he was like, just erase her memory. It was like, what? So, it's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
That definitely seemed like that was getting down, but I kind of thought they were like a mirror to Loki and Sylvie. I was like, oh, okay.
That's interesting.
Loki Sylvie dynamic, and you got these two.
I didn't even think about that at all. That's interesting. I like
because it's kind of like, okay, why would she so naturally be with his cause if she's not him? Because I'm like, if she's him, isn't it her cause as well? So like, I think that's kind of why I started piecing that together, because I was like, okay, we don't know why she was so involved. I was like, maybe she's his woman, but I'm like, but I feel like it would make sense, especially for a character who is pretty self-centered and selfish, to like themselves. So I was like, okay, I could totally see her being the Sylvie to He Who Remains, or Kang. I'm sorry. So we'll see. I'm with you though. She's missing from this episode, so who knows? Yeah. But that little mid-season trailer we got, she was in it, so I'm assuming that she'll be back. Ooh, you think Loki will keep his time-slipping powers going into Secret Wars? I think that might make him a little OP.
I think that's the biggest issue here with with the current roster. It was kind of highlighted earlier. I think you were saying that, Leo, like how there's so many overpowered characters right now. So it's hard to create a threat for the current roster of the MCU.
Yeah, that was Travis Mitchell, who, did have a really good point. Yeah, the new Avengers is severely overpowered. Yeah, because if you think about it, you've got Captain Marvel, who was supposedly the strongest Avenger of the original pack. Then you have basically 3 of her with different powers. You've got Shang-Chi, you've got time traveling Loki. Yeah, how do you stop all that?
Doctor Strange.
Maybe even Wanda comes back. I mean, it's like, okay, how do you stop all that?
Yeah.
If you're Kang and have thousands of variants that do different things, I guess that could be the foil.
I was gonna say, I'm sure there's like somewhere in a vault, there's like concept art of Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, but I'm really curious how they're gonna pull this off. It's crazy.
There's so much.
Oh my
God, Spider-Man should be the face of the MCU. Well, shit. As you can see, I would love Spider-Man to be the face of the MCU, but Sony's kind of like, he's still ours, so I don't think that's gonna happen.
Dude, Gaia makes me so grumpy. Tyler, never bring her up again. Ugh.
When I saw that scene, when I saw that, I was just kind of like, well, damn, this show just completely, like, I was already kind of like off of it already. I was already falling off, like, damn, they really fell off. But then when that happened, I was like, they just don't give a fuck, do they? I was just like, this sucks. I'm sorry, has nothing to do with Emilia Clarke, has nothing to do with the female character having those powers. The female character I wanted to see was Captain Marvel. Bring back Carol fucking Danvers. She should have came down to the earth. There's a big enough threat. She should have came down and just punched it. Listen, I was like, she should have just came down, took out Gravik real quick. That would have shown us that, like, okay, that is the strongest Avenger. She could just fly in, take care of this guy in like a quick second. Nope, they don't want to do that for whatever reason. Who knows? I am still holding out hope. I want my Wanda back. Clea, Ant-Man and Wasp. Yeah, this roster is stacked. So I think you see this roster, but what we saw at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, we saw the Council of Kings. There's hundreds of this guy. So I'm like, okay, if we got hundreds of variants with different abilities going up against these people, that's probably enough to stop these, and especially if they manipulate time and space. I think that's enough.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, as much as I didn't love the film, that post-credit scene kind of had me hype, and this was before all the controversy too. So that post-credit scene was pretty fun originally.
So somebody wrote on Twitter, and maybe it was Elliot, but I can't remember who wrote this on Twitter. But they said their change ending for Quantumania would be he beats Team Ant-Man, and right before he's about to like squash both Ant-Man and Wasp, the Council of Kangs open a portal up, and they kill him, and they're like, "Be prepared because we'll be back." But I would have loved that. Because then you would have established Kang. They couldn't even beat the base Kang. So because I was like, in that scenario, it's like, okay, if all the variants came back and they were like, we had to beat him because he got executed and got out of hand, but be warned, we're going to be here in a couple years. I would have loved that, because then it would have been like, they can't even beat the base dude. How are they going to deal with this guy and this guy and this? But yeah, they had him get beat by ants and then zapped by Wasp, and ugh. You know how you stop all these OP characters? Doom, for sure. Because that Secret Wars God Doom, that's a crazy ass Doom right there. But I mean, you could do that with Kang. Hope the finale's at least around 50 minutes for Loki. Yeah, did this episode feel a little short? Because what was it, like 35, 40 low?
Oh, what, the last episode?
Yeah, I think it
was around 40.
Yeah.
It was like 40 something, 42.
Right. I think like 50 would work. Gaia should have been Abigail Brand. Yeah, they should have. The Gaia character was so misworked. Like, ugh.
That was hard because I was happy to see Emilia Clarke, but I didn't love that for her. I feel like they could have done something better for her.
She deserved better than that. She deserved better. But guys, we are wrapping it up for the night. Lo, let the people know where they can find you and what's coming up on your platforms, man.
Y'all can follow me on Twitter and Letterboxd at Marcellus Durden. Proud team member of the Cinema Spot, editor / reviewer, critic, reporter. Got a lot of great reviews. Got a review for Killers of the Flower Moon. Check it out. Follow us on all socials at the Cinema Spot and at thecinemasPot.com.
Guys, be sure to follow them over there at thecinemasPot.com and follow my boy over at Marcellus Durden. Y'all, if you're on Geekly Goods, the main channel or the live channel, appreciate you. I accidentally went live on both, but maybe we'll roll that way from now on. Guys, thank you so much for coming out tonight. On the channel this week, I will have some coverage for Denver Film Festival 46. I got to see 2 films so far. One that I absolutely loved, and one I'm a little mixed on, but I still enjoyed. And then I've got a couple other films that will be covering those throughout the week. And then I've got a couple reactions on store as well. So guys, come on back. Same time, same place next week. And we'll see y'all next time on Geekly Goods, baby.